Well, good evening. The Who's today in New South Wales were on at Gosford, and the track was good. The rail was 3 metres out, and the wind, for the first few races was out of the southwest. No, sorry, it was out of the southeast. So it was hitting the leaders when they turned for home, but it didn't have any effect. It wasn't strong enough. And with the rail being out to 3 metres, it helped those being on the fence. And as the day went on, by the time we got to the last race, the wind was nil. Now, the first race, it was won by Central, the top weight, or number one at least. It led all the way. It's been racing down, has raced in New South Wales before. Was in the worst going of the track last time it raced in Sydney. As I say, been racing down in Melbourne, and it was able to lead all the way. And we put it up about $2.80. Got out to $3, which was taken into $2.70, hard to get. Well, no, $2 was $2.80, and but I think they only returned at $2.70. There's a big difference. I was $3.20 when they jumped. Had a very bad result on it. I did lay it at $2.70 at one stage and at the $3, but as I say, I jumped $3.20 on my board. The screen in this race said 108.5, but there was only 101 in the marketplace. And today, unfortunately, we were more or less, as I explained yesterday, very, very few punters about at the moment. They seem to be taking fixed odds with the tab, or I don't know what they're doing, but they can't possibly win taking fixed odds with the tab unless you bet early and you got some start, of course, getting overs. But after that, you're a shot duck. But even one of our pros was missing today, which made it a lot quieter. So it was pretty tough going all day to try and lay something that you thought could get beat. And as I say, I thought it could get beat in the first race, Central, and I paid the penalty. It led all the way and won by 2 lengths. The runners behind it, I think they're fairly ordinary. Race 2, this was won by Gold Bender. As much as $6 was given about Gold Bender. Unfortunately, on the screen, there was only 98.6. But in the marketplace, we got down to as little as 94%. And the winner was about the best back runner in the race. As I say, $6 was given. It only started, it was into $4.20 at one stage, got back to $4.40 or 60, and that was again taken. And it might have only started the $4.20. And it would have been a bit unlucky to get beat, I suppose. Ridden by Christian Reith. It sat back in the field on the fence, and when trying to get a run turning for home, he lost his momentum and also was put back into the pocket a couple of times by Battle Ready. But when he got out, he was able to grab Last Day Friday on the line, who sat outside the lead. It would have been a good result for the captains Last Day Friday. It didn't have a price. It went from $7 to $11. The favourite was even hard to lay, Monaco. It went up evens, $2, and got out to $2.60. Booked out, it went up $4, got out to $5, back into $4. Battle Ready, they took $9, started $8.50. And as I say, Gold Bender only went up to $4, but reached $4, got to $6 and into $4.20. The next race, race 3, we saw on the screen 103.4 in the marketplace before the late scratching of Oxford Heart, which was around about the $4.80 mark. We'd only given 100%, and this race was before the scratching. It was won by Oristana, resuming for Kevin Moses, ridden by Horseman Bowman. We put it up 6-4, $2.50, $2.50 the field, and $2.80 second pick Show Line, and they ran first and second. But Show Line was fairly hard to lay, whereas the winner, both got out of the market. Oristana went from $2.50 out to $3.50, back into $3.30 before the scratching of Oxford Heart, who had a wound in its mouth apparently and was inspected by the vet at the barrier. And after the scratching, it was into $2.70 or $2.80 Oristana, and show line before the scratching had gone from $2.80 out to $3.50, and with the scratching it was $3 second pick, and they ran the Quinella 1-2, and it went straight to the lead. Oristana. Bowman had full control of the race, and he won by about 1 3/4 to 2 lengths. The fourth race on the screen, well, there was a lot less in the marketplace. On the screen it said 108.5, but in the marketplace there was only 97, and it was won by the Avery. We put them up this way. The two unraced horses, one trained by Northam up at Scone, and the other trained by Kim Moore at Wyong. We put them up evens, the winner, Kreskin, who went straight to the lead. It was taken straight to the lead by Christian Reith, and we put it up $4 export. It tightened up in the market a little bit early, but then it was unlayable. It was, I think the SP might be only $5, but it was $6 begging when they jumped, and it was very, very unlucky. You won't be able, doesn't matter where he takes it, unless he brings it to the city, you might be able to get on it, but if he takes it to the provincials or any country meeting, you won't be able to get on it. It nearly, even though the winners won by a couple of lengths, and it hung out under pressure the last bit, Kreskin. The time was good. Came home 34.02, but as I say, had full control, and I think with a run, the second horse, Export, it would have just about won. It jumped. It was just behind the pace after they'd gone a couple of furlongs, but unfortunately, the rider Tommy Terrific Berry, he wasn't on one of I Own the Lead's horses. He was on the runner for Northam. Well, of course, he unfortunately got trapped 3 wide, lost his momentum turning for home, and it fought on very well. It should have gone very, very close to winning, but as I say, you won't be able to get on it next start. And the third pick, it ran third. It lost one of its plates as when they jumped final crescendo, but it was inside Export, keeping it wide all the way, and its run wasn't bad either. The favourite beat the second favourite, and the third favourite, well, they might have started fourth favourite actually, final crescendo. Starting third pick and very well back was Call Me Ishmael, trained by Anthony Cummings. It was $10 into $6.50. It had every possible chance. It sat behind the leader on the fence, and as I say, had every possible chance. The second horse was by far the best run there. The fifth race, this was a huge result for the captains. There were plenty of runners backed in this race as well. There was 105.8 on the screen. We got to a neat 100 in the marketplace. I suppose number one didn't have a price, and its run was very good. It was eased out of the race at the start from a wide alley by roving Robert Thompson and made up plenty of ground. It went from $12 out to $19. The next runner, the leader in the race, was called Shovel to Win. It was $12 out to $15. It led. It had its chance. The next runner, Zycosis, it was very well back, $6.50 into $5. Laid some good bets against it. Alternative was 20 out to 30. The favourite, Cat's Eye Surprise, it ran second, had every possible chance, had sat third on the fence, got the split turning for home. It was impossible to lay. We put it up 5 to 4. 5 to 4 the field, we said. And of course, it was just echoed through the ring. There's nobody there. It was just, we're just keeping in practice when the punters come back to the track. You've got to keep in practice, of course. When they come back, you be 5 to 4 the field, and they'll all heel, they'll rush in. Um, but at the moment, we're just, as I say, just keeping in practice. But it got out to 5-2 the field when they jumped, and there was cooey, and all the punters just said, no, we don't want to be on that one, thank you very much. It was 5-4 to 5-2. The next runner, Cloud Dancer, it went from $7 out to $9. They took it back into $8.50. I got your babe. I bet $10 about it. It started at 8. The next runner having his first start for Ronnie Quinton, and with the apprentice Sam clipping it up. Unfortunately, it missed a kick, they say. I thought it was just eased out at the start. It got well back. It was very wide on the turn, made up plenty of ground. It was $12 into about $8. The next one was scratched. Miss Venice, it was 20s out to 40s. Osaka Sun, it was well back, $13 out to 15, back into about $9.50. The next pair was scratched. Sparkling Sky didn't have a price. It was 40 out to 60. And the next one was scratched. Number 17, the winner, Mitford Girl, it didn't have a price either. It was 40 out to 70 on my board. And I think I might have laid a few small wagers against it. And it had its first start up, I think, at Taree on a sus track. And that day it was back from 5s into 3s, $6 into $4. So they must have thought it had a good chance that day. There was no money for it today. It sat midfield, and with the young girl up and with 3 kilos off Mrs. R. Murray, it was able to sat mid or in about 6th position, and it eased off heels turning for home and was able to nab the favourite on the line. There were a couple of good runs in the race, as I say. Intimate Moment was one of them, and also the top weight. But it was a big result for the captains there. Race 6, here we saw a big plonk here come off, and the favourite and the second favourite got the cash. Cosmo King. It beat the favourite Tableau, who I thought was a touch disappointing. And Cosmo King, we put them up this way: 5-2 second pick Cosmo King, and we'll have your 1108, $1.70. Take 1108 Tableau, number 13. Well, it gradually got out to even money Tableau, and the winner, Cosmo King, it got out to $4. I think you might only see $4 on the screen, but there was $4.40 on the fence. By the way, today there are only 4 captains on the fence, and I was the only bookie in the outside ring. We had it 5 out. Isn't it a ripper? We had it 5 out, and 5 out with no grumble and grunters. It's a ripper. Anyway, as I say, the favourite got to evens. It was taken, and when it was taken, the Cosmo King got out to $4.40, but then it was backed, and I laid some really good bets against it, unfortunately for me, and it firmed into $3, $4.40 into $3.80, but then right towards the end of betting, they had another large plate, the pros. They took the 380, the 370, 60, 50, and even the 340, and it started $3.30, hard to get Cosmo King, whereas Tableau, after they'd taken the evens and got into $1.80, it was reached for to finish when we were all snowed in a bit with the favourite, the second pick, Cosmo King, and it ran $2.10, 10-9 the field. Tableau had its chance. Christian Reith rode it. Horseman Bowman was on the second pick. Reith had him in a pocket, turning for home. Leading on the fence was the $18 chance Champion Delight having his first start, and Huey was able to get inside runners turning for home, and by the same token, the favourite had moved up and got around the leaders, and Fragmento, it was running second, and on the fence running third was the 150 to 1 chance Galabrea, and Reith had got wide and it looked as if he had his momentum up and would win the race, but Huey got an inside split and did better towards the line and beat him by about a head, and they got away from the others. The 20 to 1 chance number 2, Chain of Hearts, ran third. it came off the favourite's back, and it was 2 lengths away. Race 7, there was 101.9 on the screen, but only 97% in the marketplace. And Shadow Me, who just goes well and gets a good run every time it gets around, it won by having barrier 1 sitting behind the lead. And when the leader Rangda hung on the turn, it was able to get inside that runner and hold on and beat I Like the Boy, who was in the 1-1 position. And outside the lead, hanging on for third, was Jive Talk, 25-1 chance. We only gave 97% here. And the favourite, Abilco, Phil Silvers, good old Phil Silvers, wasn't he as smart as a whip, that Phil Silvers? It got back in the field with Jenny Duggan. There was a good steady pace up in front. As I say, we only bet 97. It went up $2.50, Bilko, got out to $3.10 into $2.80, taking it towards the finish. It was well backed, I Like the Boy, $8 into $4.60. Very well backed. Shadow Me, it was hard to lay. I think they had a return of $3.30. SP, you got robbed there. It was $3.80 begging at the track. It was $2.80 at the $3.80. Rangda, it was $6 into $7 into $6 at one stage, back out to $7, and the bottom 4 were all long odds. We only gave 97%, but the winner was hard to lay, and the captains got a result. Come the last, we didn't get a result here. This was poleaxe towards the end of betting. Lady Gazira, it started favourite. Going straight to the front was the second pick, Sir John, who started $4.20. It went up $3.50, bit hard to lay, got out to $4.20. And sitting on its outside was the winner, Lady Gazira. Lady Gazira, who went up $3, got out to $3.80. They only started $3.30. Very hard to get poleaxe towards the end of betting. There might have even been, no, there wasn't $4 given, but there was plenty of $3.80. And unfortunately, getting trapped 3 wide was Fort Sumter outside those 2 leaders. It ran last, Fort Sumter, after having that hard run. Anyway, the winner, Lady Gazira, was able to get past Sir John on straightening, but it took him all the way down the straight to beat that runner by only about half a length. It finished up running third, the leader, Sir John, and coming through on the off the fence and in between runners late was Master Navir, who would have been a fantastic result. It went from $13 out to $17. It failed by 0.3 of a length, and only a half a length away, as I say, beaten a half a length, was the second favourite, Sir John. And coming right down the outside was Pin from last position, resuming today from a spell, trained by Gordon York. It was, I bet $19, or it might have even bet 20. Yes, I did bet 20, and it started only about $17. It made up a lot of ground. And of course, we all saw the other very well-backed runner in the race, Malambo, who drew barrier 10 in a field of 11, easing out of it at the start and going back to be running last on the fence, or second last on the fence inside Pin. And when they turned for home, Horseman Bowman, he was looking for runs, and unfortunately he went from the turn to the winning post without really getting a run on Malambo. And it was $10, 9-1 into $5.50, 9-1 into 9-2. It halved its price. Hard to get the 9-2 even at the death. And it, as I say, it took more or less no part. Well, that was the meeting. It was a tough old day. There was nobody there, only 5 captains. The game is getting, anyway, we know what the story with the game is. We hope if you had a bet today that you had some success. And we've got wonderful Canterbury Park on tomorrow night, so we'll see you then. Good evening.